Please lie down on your back. Have your legs long, your arms somewhere placed comfortably on the floor or on your body. And just feel how you're lying on the floor today. Sense your legs. And your pelvis. How your pelvis fits against the ground. The small of your back. The right and the left sides of your rib cage. Your shoulder blades. Compare the right to the left. And sense down also from your shoulders all the way through the length of your arms, down through the bones of your arms, all the way to your fingertips. And how far is your right arm placed from your body, and your left arm placed from your body? And how are your palms placed? Are they palm up, or palm down, or resting somewhere on the sides? And sense across the front of your chest. Is there any movement there when you breathe? Is there a difference between the right and the left side? And sense the back of your neck. How far from the floor is the back of your neck? And how is your head resting on the ground? Where on your head do you sense the most weight? And roll your head very gently, a little movement, not a lot, to the right and to the left, to see if you can discern a difference between turning your head one way and turning your head the other way, always staying in an easy, comfortable range for yourself. And rest your head. And now stretch both your arms out, shoulder height, resting on the floor with the palms up. The backs of the hands are on the floor, and your arms are resting on the floor, outstretched to either side of you, shoulder height. And make fists with both your hands. And now just gently begin to roll your fists downwards in the direction of your feet. So you'll come over the tops of your knuckles and maybe even over onto the thumb, and come back. And do that rolling movement several times. Just rolling in a very easy range. And feel where this rotation happens for you. And pause a moment there with your arms outstretched. And now do the same movement. Make fists again and roll your arms downwards in the direction of your thumbs. And as you do this movement, lift your head as though to look at your feet. As you roll your thumbs downwards, lift your head and roll your arms forwards, rolling over the knuckles. Each time you roll the arms downwards, lift your head to look in the direction of your feet. Pause a moment. And begin the movement again. And also add lifting your elbows off the floor. Your arms are straight. Lift your elbows a little bit off the floor so that you can begin to feel that the whole shoulder girdle is now becoming engaged. Somehow the lifting of your head engages your shoulder girdle and allows your shoulders to roll forwards. And rest a moment. Your legs are long and your arms are outstretched at right angles to your body. The backs of your hands are resting on the floor, and make fists again. And now simply roll your arms as you did before, rolling down in the direction of your thumbs, and see if it's easier now. See if there's more of your arms or more of your shoulders engaged. Can you allow your shoulders to roll as well, even though you're keeping your head down? And now just once or twice as you roll your shoulders forwards and roll over on the thumbs, lift your head and feel that entire rolling, the rotation of the arms. And the next time you roll your arms forwards and lift your head, leave your arms there and place your head down. So your shoulders will stay off the floor and your arms will stay rotated forward. Just place the head down and then let go of everything and relax. Leaving your arms outstretched to the sides. And do that once more. Roll your arms downwards, lifting your head, leaving your arms rolled forwards, placing your head gently down, and feel what you do, how you organize your chest and your shoulders, and pause a moment. Relax your arms, relax your shoulders. And now see if it's easier to simply roll your arms, rotating your arms downwards. Is there a little more of you involved? You can leave the head down. Maybe you can feel how your chest is becoming a little more engaged. And bring your arms down somewhere comfortably by your sides and just feel how you fit against the ground. And stretch out your arms again. Make fists again. And now roll your arms the opposite direction. Roll your arms upwards in the direction of your thumbs. And come back to where you started. And do that slowly, gently, a few times. And notice if you lift your elbows off the floor. If you can lift your elbows off the floor, you may find you can roll further, easier. And again, notice what you do in your back and in your chest. Does this affect the back of your neck at all? Pause a moment with your arms outstretched and draw up your legs so that your feet are standing on the floor and your knees are looking at the ceiling. And have your feet far enough apart so that you can bear weight there. About the width of your hips is probably about right. And just once or twice, push with your feet into the floor so that you lift your pelvis off the floor and roll up through your back, going only as high up into your upper back as is comfortable, and then rolling back down, vertebrae by vertebrae, until you place the pelvis down on the floor. And when you're there, then take a breath. And once again, lift your pelvis off the floor, pushing your feet into the floor, rolling up through the spine. And coming back down slowly, placing your back down on the floor. So now your feet are on the floor, your knees are looking at the ceiling, and your arms are outstretched. at 90-degree angles to the body. The backs of your hands are on the floor. Make fists with both your hands, leaving your arms on the floor. Roll your arms upwards in the direction of your thumbs and come back down. And again, leaving your arms on the floor, arms outstretched at right angles to the body, roll your arms upwards in the direction of your thumbs. And now as you do that, lift your pelvis. Lift your pelvis and place it back down. And find out how rolling your pelvis, lifting it off the ground and translating your weight up onto your shoulder blades, how can you organize your chest and your shoulders to roll your arms even further, but without forcing anything? So again, try lifting your pelvis off the floor as you roll your arms, rotate your arms upwards in the direction of your thumbs. And does the back of your neck want to be long, with the chin towards the chest? Or how would your head like to be? You can try different ways. And now leave your arms upwards with your pelvis up. Leave your arms rolled upwards. And slowly lower your pelvis, leaving your arms as they are. And feel this differentiation that can happen in your shoulders and your chest. Lengthen down your legs and bring your arms to a comfortable place and take a rest. And sense again what has changed. Across the front of your chest, through your pectoral muscles, your shoulders, your lower back, and anywhere else. Draw up your knees again and place your feet on the floor with your knees looking at the ceiling. And now stretch both your arms out, shoulder height, and have the backs of your fists resting on the ground. And now roll your arms downwards. Rotate your arms downwards as you lift your head to look between your knees. And place your head down and rotate your arms the opposite direction. Rotate your arms upwards as you lift the pelvis. Going very slowly. Try this pattern a few more times, lowering the pelvis, lifting your head and rolling your arms downwards. Your elbows are straight, the shoulders are rolling. And then place your head down and lift your pelvis and roll your arms up. And feel which way your neck would like to be. Would it like to be long or arched? And if you go very slowly, if you really attend to yourself, you can find out how you may be interfering with making the movement easier for yourself. Give yourself time to sense where you may be able to let go a little more. Places that you're not aware you're holding can become aware. And your breathing, how is your breathing? Pause a moment and leave your knees up. And now simply do the rotation with your arms only. Make fists with both your hands, your arms perpendicular to your body, and roll your thumbs downwards. Roll your arms downwards towards your thumbs. And then roll your arms upwards. And find out what you could do. How could you make your arms rotate a little further? What could you do in your chest and your shoulders? What could you do with your head? Pause a moment. And now, try rolling your arms downwards as you take your chin away from your chest, relaxing your jaw open, the back of the neck arching a bit more away from the floor, staying comfortable. And also experiment with lifting your head to look between your knees as you roll your arms upwards. How do these movement patterns feel to you? Using more parts of yourself, perhaps even pressing the small of your waist into the floor. And lengthen down your legs and take a rest. What's different now about how your body is lying against the floor? In your heels, your legs, your hip joints, your pelvis, your ribs, your shoulder blades, your head, your breathing. And now roll yourself to your side and come to sit with your legs somehow symmetrically arranged. You can have the soles of your feet together and the knees apart, or the legs straight in front of you, or one leg crossed in front of the other, whatever's comfortable. And if it's not comfortable to sit on the floor, please sit in a chair and adapt the lesson accordingly. And bring your arms to your sides, outstretched shoulder height, and make fists. And now begin to roll your arms forward as you lower your head. Lower your head as though to look at your navel, rounding your shoulders forward. Just once or twice, and see if you can feel how your shoulder girdle now is folding forwards, all the way across from shoulder to shoulder through your collarbones and your upper back. Can you feel this gentle rounding across your upper back? And how this rounding might affect your ability to rotate your fists further, using your back to help you. Rest your arms. And if you have your legs crossed tailor fashion, then cross the other leg in front now. Bring your arms out to the sides again and make fists. And again, rotate your arms downwards, spiral your arms downwards, and think of aiming the top of your head towards the floor as you roll your arms forwards and come back up. And again, roll your arms forwards as you aim the top of your head towards the floor. And each time you roll your arms forward, think of your head coming a little closer to the floor, but don't strain to get there. Just allow for more and more of your spine to start to round. And rest on your back. And as you're resting on your back, just have your arms stretched out to the sides of you at right angles to the body, with palms up, and make your hands into light fists. And now recall that feeling of rounding the spine, of lowering the head and rolling your arms, rotating your fists downwards. What did that feel like in your back, in your spine, through your shoulders and through your chest? And let that image go. And now bend your knees and place your feet flat on the floor. And roll your fists downwards as you lift your head. looking between your knees, and see if it's easier now. See if you can rotate further, and maybe even come over the thumb and perhaps even onto the backs of the knuckles of the hands without straining. Pause a moment and roll to your side and come again to sit, with your legs somehow comfortably arranged in a symmetrical position. You can have one leg crossed in front of you, or both legs straight in front of you. And have your arms outstretched, shoulder height. And now begin to rotate your fists upwards. Rotate your arms upwards and then downwards. And feel the movement happening through your back and your shoulders. And now as you rotate your arms upwards, take your head and your eyes in the direction of the ceiling. Think of lifting the chest. And as you rotate your arms downwards, lower your head and aim the top of your head for the floor, or look at your navel. Let your spine round. So now we're alternately lifting and opening the chest and rotating the arms upwards. It's a very open position, looking in the direction of the ceiling and then rotating down and reversing that. And again, be very mindful of your breathing and notice if you're straining. Keep a sense of ease. And bring your arms down and rest a moment. And again, bring your arms out to your sides, 90 degrees, shoulder height, and make fists. And now as you rotate your arms downwards, take your face in the direction of the ceiling. So it's quite a different movement. And now as you rotate your fists upwards, take your head downwards to look in the direction of your belly, the direction of the floor. And just 2 or 3 times, see what this pattern feels like. Rotating your fists downwards, rounding your shoulders forwards as you look up. And lifting the chest and lengthening the neck and bringing the chin towards the chest as you rotate the arms upwards. Feel what's happening in your back between your shoulder blades and in the muscles in the front of your chest, in your belly, and in your lower abdomen. And leave all that and come to rest on your back or in a heap on the floor. And just notice any sensations through your arms and your back and your chest and anywhere else. Bend up your knees and place your feet flat on the floor again. Bring your arms outstretched, shoulder level on the floor, and make fists. And now rotate your arms downwards as you lift your head to look between your knees and see if it's easier now. See if you can go further, maybe even rotate your arms further without straining. And as you put your head down, lift your pelvis and rotate your arms the other way, upwards towards your thumb. Lifting your pelvis, coming up between your shoulder blades. And now leave your arms like that and place your pelvis down. And now roll your arms forwards, your arms only, and lift your pelvis again. Roll your shoulders and your arms downwards as you lift the pelvis. And now as you place your pelvis down, lift your head and roll your arms upwards. Lift your head and roll your arms upwards. And place the head down and roll the arms downwards as you lift your pelvis. Go very slowly. as you lift your pelvis. Go very slowly, very carefully. Give yourself a chance to sense. And as you place your pelvis down, lift your head and rotate your arms upwards. And feel all these different possibilities of differentiation of your arms, your shoulders, your neck, your chest, your head. And let it all go. Give it a rest. Lengthen down your legs. Place your arms somewhere comfortable and just sense yourself against the floor. Bend up your knees again and place your feet on the floor. Have your arms outstretched, perpendicular to the body, resting on the floor. Make fists with your hands, and now roll your arms forwards as you lift your head. Roll your shoulders in the direction of your feet, and see if that's gotten easier, clearer. And now lift your pelvis and roll your arms upwards as you place your head down. See if you can discover any new places now, new ways to organize yourself. Your breathing, your chest, your shoulders. Sense yourself rolling through your back. And when you've tried that a couple of times, when you've explored that movement a couple of times, then give yourself a rest. And again, roll yourself up to sit, with your legs comfortably arranged. Have your arms outstretched to the side at 90 degrees shoulder height, and leaving your arms outstretched like this to either side of you, rotate one arm upwards as you rotate the other arm downwards. And now reverse that. The arm that is rotated downwards now rotates upwards, and the other arm rotates downwards. And now alternate like this a few times. And do you have a sense of one arm lengthening? Which arm might like to lengthen to the side as it rotates? Is it the one that's rotating up or down? Experiment with it a little bit. And then begin to lean a little bit in the direction of the arm that's lengthening. Bring your arms down and pause a moment, and if you're sitting cross-legged, reverse the position of your legs. Bring your arms out again to the same position, and again begin to alternately roll one arm upwards and the other arm downwards. And now begin to look and lean a little bit in the direction of the arm that's rotating upwards. And allow your face to turn in that direction. Look at the fist. Now this is similar to the first movement in fencing. So if you had a foil in each hand, a foil is the type of sword that the Three Musketeers used. If you had a foil in each hand, you'd be skewering with the arm that's rotating upwards. And you want to see where you're skewering so you can really aim it precisely to whatever it is you're skewering. Rest your arms. Change your legs around if you need to. And now pick up your foils again, one in each hand. arms shoulder level, and again begin rotating, lengthening, and leaning towards the arm that's rotating upwards. Rolling the shoulder of the arm that's rotating downwards forwards. And now reverse the direction of your head and look towards the arm that's rotating downwards. And rest on your back. And bend up your knees and place your feet flat on the floor. Have your arms outstretched, shoulder level, and make fists with each of your hands. And now, while lying on the floor like this, begin to rotate one arm upwards and the other arm downwards, just as you did in sitting a moment ago. Now do the same movement lying on the floor. And turn your head to look in the direction of the arm that's rotating upwards. And how might you help this movement with your feet? Or with one of your feet, with your legs? How might you encourage the movement a little more by maybe pressing through one of your feet and even allowing your pelvis to roll? To make this spiraling more of a whole body movement. So it's not just your chest and your arms, but it's your pelvis and your waist and your feet and your legs. Everything is involved in the spiral. And your breathing. Can you keep it easy and light? Rest a moment. You can leave your legs up or lengthen them down. And now bend up your knees and place your feet flat on the ground. Have your arms outstretched, shoulder level on the ground, and make fists. And now begin to rotate one arm up and the other arm down, alternately rotating one arm up, the other arm down. Look in the direction of the arm that's rotating downwards towards the shoulder that's rolling forwards. And again, allow your pelvis and your feet to respond and somehow be part of the spiraling, taking care of any aches or pains, making it a very, very small movement if you have any little painful places in yourself, any uncomfortable places. You can go very, very small. Make it very, very light. And lengthen down your legs and take a full rest. With your legs long, bring your arms outstretched, shoulder level, and make fists. And simply roll your arms forward and lift your head to look between your feet and see if it's easier. See if there's more of you becoming involved in the movement. And rest. And roll yourself up and come to kneel with the left knee on the floor and the right foot on the floor in what I call the proposal position. So you're on your left knee and standing on your right foot, but you're not sitting on your heel. Your left thigh is perpendicular to the floor. Arrange your legs so that you're stable. If your knee is sore or tender, give it some padding by resting it on a small pillow or a folded towel. And now have your arms outstretched to either side of you and make fists. And rotate one arm up and the other arm down. And go slowly and see if you can lean and look towards the arm that's rotating upwards. So go slowly because we're challenging your balance here. One arm is rotating up, the other is rotating downwards. And when you feel more secure, maybe you can begin to lean a little bit towards the arm that's spiraling upwards. Leaning and reaching. Bring your arms down and reverse your legs. So you're kneeling now on your right knee and your left foot is on the floor. Bring your arms again out to the side. Make fists and begin to rotate one arm upwards and the other arm downwards. And when that becomes comfortable and familiar, then you can begin to look towards the hand that's rotating upwards. And when that becomes more comfortable, then maybe you can begin to lean or extend your intention a little further through space. So we're reaching and leaning a little bit sideways now. And yes, it's awkward, but it can be learned. And rest on your back. To be able to be graceful and secure in an awkward situation is truly an art. Bend your knees and place your feet flat on the floor. Have your arms outstretched to your sides and roll both your arms forwards. Roll your fists, roll your arms forward, lift your shoulders, lifting your elbows, and lift your head to look between your knees. And place the head down, and now lift the pelvis and rotate your arms upwards. And again, place your pelvis down as you lift your head and roll your arms forwards, rounding your shoulders. Breathing, and place your head down and lift your pelvis. Peel your pelvis off the ground and roll up onto your shoulders. And place your pelvis down. Lengthen down your legs. Rest your arms and settle yourself onto the floor. And roll to your side and come again to kneel with your left knee on the ground and your right foot on the ground. And have your arms outstretched shoulder height. Make fists. And now have one arm forward and one arm back. It's up to you which one is going to be easier. Have one arm forward and one arm back. And now begin to rotate one arm upwards and the other arm downwards. Alternately rotate one arm upwards and the other arm downwards, spiraling through your arms, one arm upwards, the other arm downwards, and turn your head to watch the arm that's rotating upwards. And if you feel secure enough, you can begin to lean a bit forwards. You can begin to lunge a bit forwards over your standing foot, slowly lunging. And now continue doing this movement, but change the intention of your looking. Look towards the shoulder that's rolling forwards, that's rotating forwards. And look away from the hand that's rolling up. Rest your arms and come onto your other knee. Come to stand on your right knee with your left foot placed on the floor. And now, whichever arm you had forwards before, have your other arm forwards and the opposite arm back. And begin to rotate one arm up and the other arm down, watching the arm that's rotating upwards. And when you begin to feel secure in that movement, can you begin to lean in that direction, as though someone had hold of that arm and were pulling you forwards and backwards, and you were following them with your weight. Go only as far as feels comfortable and secure, and continue this reaching and lengthening and rotating, changing the way your head is looking. Keep your neck easy, your jaw soft, your eyes soft, your breathing natural, and come to rest on your back. Once again, roll to your side and come to kneel on your right knee with your left foot on the ground. And now, if you had your right arm forward before in this position, have your left arm forward, or vice versa, and your other arm back. And from here, begin to rotate and spiral your arms upwards and downwards, alternately upwards and downwards, and begin to watch the arm that's rotating upwards, turning the head, turning the face to watch the arm that's rotating upwards. And then imagine that someone had hold of either fist and was gently pulling you forwards and a little backwards, but don't allow them to make you lose your balance. Go only as far as feels secure, and take your time to feel your way through the movement. Bring your arms down and change the position of your legs. So now you're kneeling on your left knee and your right foot is forward. Bring your other arm forward, the other arm back. Begin to spiral and rotate, reaching and leaning and looking towards the arm that's rotating upwards. And continue doing that same movement, but now turn your head to watch the shoulder that's rotating forwards, looking back towards the hand that's rolling downwards. Taking care of your back, maintaining your balance. And leave it all be. Come onto your back and take a full rest. One last time, bring your arms outstretched to either side of you, resting on the floor, and make fists with both your hands. And leaving your head on the floor, Simply spiral your arms downwards, rolling your fists downwards, and then roll your fists upwards. And just notice if this is easier than at the beginning of the lesson. Is there a sense of more differentiation through your shoulders and arms? What did you learn? What parts of yourself became more awake? And rest your arms, just rest your arms anywhere that's comfortable. And sense yourself lying on the floor. Can you sense the resonance of the spirals traveling through your system? And whenever you feel ready, staying with yourself, roll yourself up to sit and to stand. Sense yourself in standing for a moment. How is your weight over your feet? Do you feel more stable? And go for a stroll about the room, sensing yourself. And take your time to feel your way through the movement.